Also a part of the big event coming up on Sunday, The Wrld on GCW coming up on Sunday, January the 23rd from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. You can stream it on Fight TV, and you can watch it on traditional cable and satellite pay-per-view. He is in one of the big matches on the show. He is facing Matt Cardona, the one and only, the bad boy, Joey Janela. And I hear you're not on time for stuff, and you were on time.
Never.
And Brett was late. So
never. I'm never on time for anything. Brett's 100% correct.
Really?
Yesterday my phone was off till 5 p.m.
Oh,
it might have been because I was sleeping, and then I didn't feel like looking for my phone charger. So yeah, sometimes stuff happens. That's a problem with someone with severe ADD. But
and you're
story
also
for a different day.
And you're also busy. You're a busy guy.
Oh, very busy.
You're busy kicking the crap out of Matt Cardona.
I beat his ass pretty bad. So
that video was amazing.
Thank you so much.
How do you plan something like that out? Just because you don't see that in this day of age where you have the talent going outside of the realm and just shooting their own storylines like that. So what comes behind? How do you come up with ideas like? Is it something you discuss with Matt? Is it something you discuss with Brett? Or how does stuff like that come about?
Well, Giancarlo did him out. He's the guy who basically jump-started my indie career big time with doing videos. He was a fan, and he was filming videos as a crowd member for this company, PWS, just these fan videos, rallying up against this guy, Bonesaw, that they didn't like. So I saw his stuff, and I was like, wow, this is better than anything anyone can produce on independent wrestling. This is about 2014, I'd say.
Okay.
And I'd say, hey, you should come do some stuff with me. And Jersey Championship Wrestling, which is now GCW, basically. So
yeah,
he started filming little videos, and then we started doing stuff for CZW, and then he started working with other guys like MJF, and he gave him a huge boost on his career. And all these names end up getting signed to WWE, worked there for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And now he's back to GCW. He's the one that produces all of our content, does all of our videos, all the cinematic stuff you've been seeing. It's all him. So yeah.
You should have taken Cardona's Jeep. Should have taken that Cherokee.
I ran over his foot. I felt bad. I had to leave him the car. I didn't feel like I didn't want to be a bad guy. Have to call an Uber to the hospital, which is a horrendous mess if you ever had to do that. Because the Uber, you say, all right, drop me off over here. They drop you off at the other side of the hospital, but then you have a broken foot and you have to crawl to the emergency room. So I didn't want to do that to him. So I left him his car, and I just feel bad. So
how can you feel bad when you're the bad boy?
Sometimes you just feel bad about stuff, especially if you run over someone's foot. It's not the last time I run over someone's foot. It's not the first time, but I do want him. I know this show means a lot to him as well. I'm going to beat his ass in the Hammerstein, but I want him walking in there on 2 feet. I don't want him wheeled in there like he was wheeled around off the stage by the Big Red Machine Kane. I don't want that to happen.
You went there. That was great.
So, yeah, I want him to walk on his own 2 feet, but it's not looking like a severe break, but I think his foot is broken. So we'll see. I got some, vodka in my bag always. I'll give him a little cocktail before the match, so it will ease the pain of the foot troubles.
What's the vodka of choice for you?
I don't know. Probably, I'm not really. Maybe Tito's.
There you go. Can't go wrong with Tito's.
Nothing too crazy. I think all vodka kind of tastes the same when you're mixing it with pineapple juice or Sprite. So I think it all tastes kind of the same. I don't see it's not like tequila is a little bit different. I see like certain tequilas taste a little bit better than other tequilas, but vodka is vodka, in my opinion.
I've never had vodka with pineapple juice.
That's my
I'm gonna have
thing.
to try that. Okay.
It's good. That's my thing. When you start seeing me at the bar pound down pineapple juice and vodka, you're in for a great night.
Are you going to be in Chicago for AEW in February? Beginning of February?
I really don't know. My schedule there varies. I really don't find out till a few days before.
I got you.
Or not. So
you talk about tequila. I'm a Patron kind of guy.
Patron is great. I love Patron.
Patron it's either straight or I do it with Sprite.
Sprite is good, but the mezcal is where I'm starting to realize that's where it's at.
Ooh, interesting.
It's kind of a smoky taste to it. Very good.
I'm learning a lot about alcohol in this conversation, and I wasn't expecting to go this route, but I'm enjoying it.
That's it. The mezcal is where it's at because it's got that smoky aftertaste, and it's pretty good. Pretty good.
The one other thing I love about this feud with Matt is it's all been done via 2 videos. Actually, if you want 2 videos and some photos.
Videos and some photos. Someone, I'm not going to mention their name. I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
Who, Chelsea?
Huge wrestling name and personality in a different big wrestling company. Hit us up and was like, "This is next level storytelling. This is way before its time. What you guys are doing right now." Which it's a great compliment. He said this is next level stuff. So
how did you originate with the idea of, because really that came from the beginning of this came from Flair and Savage back 30 years ago. So this is something that just didn't come up in the last 2 years. I'm a smart guy. I'm a wrestling fan first and foremost before a journalist.
I think Cardona is a very, very, very smart guy. I think I met my match when it comes to I've done on the indies. I've planned many of my own storylines, some that have lasted 2-3 years.
Okay.
And they creatively keep those going is a task, but I've done that task very well, and I finally feel like I've found someone that matches my creativity. If me and Cardona wanted to feud for 4 years, we probably could do it easily. So,
was there, and did you want to extend this longer, or do you feel like this feud was made for this moment coming up on Sunday?
Again, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. I can't say it's going to be the end this weekend, and I can't say it's going to continue. Who knows? We'll see how it works out. We'll see how the end result is, and it has legs, so
yeah,
it can run if it wants to. But if not, so be it. We did it. We did our job. We did it well, and everyone's loving it.
I just brought this, and I want to ask you the same thing. You've been a big part of GCW. So what does Sunday mean to you?
Oh, it means the world. I say probably have a definitive list of big shows I've been a part of that not only have been big for myself, but have changed the business. A couple being the first couple spring break shows.
Yeah.
Which are very, we'll say there are reasons for many things happening in the business right now. Inspirational to some. I consider those game changers. I consider all in one of my biggest shows ever, which is the complete game changer for the wrestling business. Huge deal. And this is right up there with it. I'd say this is one of my biggest shows of my entire life.
Where does Sunday ring for you? I know the match hasn't happened yet, but just thinking about it, there's a lot of hype going around the show, a lot of hype around this match in particular. And where do you rank this in your all-time moments?
I don't know. We'll see when it's all said and done. It might be number 1. I still consider All In number one because that's like a once in a lifetime show. But I think this is right up there with that. I think this is gonna change. This is a generational show. I think this is gonna change the business, not only for GCW, for a lot of things. GCW's already changed the business, and bring back that edginess and craziness to professional wrestling on an independent level, not even with no backing, no machine behind them. This is a homegrown mom and pop business. And for us to get to this moment, sell out the Hammerstein, past capacity that it's ever been for a professional wrestling show, even more than ECW or the WWE One Night Stands or Ring of Honor. It's just this is huge. This is a game changer. This is going to be the show to see. You get new eyes on the product. This is going to be the show to say, all right, in a couple of years, can we do the big arenas? Can we do the 10,000 seat sellout? Which I said years ago. I've said before AEW that spring break, that is a launch pad for 10,000 seat arena show eventually. I'm not saying in the next 3 years. I'm not saying in 5 years.
Yeah.
GCW will do a big arena show, but it might be sooner than we think because the success of this is just a tremendous success. A lot more eyes on the product than ever before on a regular pay-per-view, which we've never done. It's just going to be I think it's a tremendous success already, and who knows how it's going to change things going forward for us, for the business. You know, GCW is not a TV product. I don't know how GCW would work as a TV show if there was ever that opportunity given.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could see it working because that's what it went wrong for ECW. But I think as a pay-per-view product, kind of in the same concept realm of how UFC distributes their shows as pay-per-views and doing multiple pay-per-views a month. I could see it doing that. It's basically, when you think about it, they're doing the TNA original Wednesday night pay-per-view formula, but successfully. That's not a knock at them because those were game changers as well. I remember watching them every Wednesday, but I think this is that, but on a whole new level.
Why is it on a whole new level than what we did see with TNA?
It's just, I would say that was like TNA when they did it, doing weekly pay-per-views. They built it more like a TV show, like a episodic wrestling TV show.
Okay.
I feel like GCW has a little of that, but it feels like every show you're watching a big event. Every show you're watching a pay-per-view. You know, of course, we've dug more into storylines in the last couple of years since COVID let up, because that was like the biggest complaint about the product, that we were just kind of people were comparing us to PWG, which is not a bad thing at all. PWG is top indie companies of all time, but the thing is, they rarely do storylines.
Yeah,
it's more on an emphasis on a wrestling product. But the thing is, the difference is they're running every 3 months. We're running 3 times a month, 4 times a month. So now you have to weave in storylines into your shows to hook people. And as soon as Brett started putting these storylines into the shows, and it was just grand slam after grand slam, the whole product just changed to a different level.
How many shows would you like to see GCW have per month? Because this past week there were 2, and you got one coming up on Sunday, and then I know in February I looked at the schedule very briefly. I know you're running I know at least every Saturday from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'd love to see 4 or 5, 6 shows a month. With that, the thing is, we're doing 6 shows a month. The younger talent, the ones that aren't at the top of the payroll, that aren't the Matt Cardonas or the John Moxleys, or I wouldn't say I'm even on top of it because I'm pretty lenient with GCW. I just love wrestling. I love GCW. But those younger talents that are 17, 18, well, 16, Nick Wayne is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, are making tremendous money that I wish I made when I was their age, because they're able to not only make money off the wrestling, they're able to go to different cities across. They're able to go do a show in New Jersey or Chicago or LA or Texas and see a different fan base and bring their merchandise and walk out with the $800, $1,500 for that weekend. And that's just tremendous. I think just younger talent, it's just a beneficial platform for younger talent to make money, get exposure, wrestle good guys. And that's my biggest thing with GCW. It's just being the machine, the conveyor belt who develops new talent and gives them proper due, which I really, coming up in wrestling, I really didn't get much of. I was delivering pizzas. I was doing Uber. I was trying to just get through. And I wasn't making money off of wrestling. Wrestling was just basically, paid for my travel, paid for my food.
When did you start making money in wrestling?
Say real money, 2017.
Oh, wow.
I think that's what I think, to be honest, I didn't stop. So maybe 2018, because I didn't stop working until 2018. So pretty sure it was 2018 was the first year I was like, wow, I'm making money. Because I had enough money to put down on merchandise and do this and do that. And I was doing 3-4 shows a week, so that I was able to quit my job. So it wasn't that long ago. And I'm fortunate enough now to be not only contracted, getting a steady paycheck, but also make money doing independence on my own accord. So it's pretty cool.
How much of how do I word this? Would you have done that the rest of your career? Would you still have worked multiple jobs and still wrestled, or did you have a time frame in your mind of something's got to give, or I got to give up wrestling?
No. Wrestling, I'd be living in the backseat of my car or tent in the woods before I quit wrestling. And that's the same thing. I think right now, I developed a path for myself in wrestling that for the rest of my life, whether it be 1 more year or 40 more years, that I can make money off the business for the rest of my life. But if worse came to worse, and I had to go back to, if I became some kind of crazed gambler and blew all my money, or an investment went wrong, I wouldn't give up wrestling. I'd have to go back on that path of doing whatever it takes to make money just to get me through the week, just to get to my weekends to wrestle. But right now we're living pretty good. I got this car. It's not the greatest car. It's a 2009 Toyota Yaris.
Okay.
Brett bought it for me when I blew out my knee. He bought it for me for spring break. I said, I need a car to get back and forth to rehab, because my other car, it went. So he bought me this, and it's been running ever since. I think it's been 3 years now. So, I don't got any car payments. I'm living a good life, getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, eating lobster, blowing money on blackjack. And
wait a minute. You just said you weren't gambling.
I don't have a gambling addiction. Like I said, what the hell? I'm talking about every time I'm at a casino, It's all right.
Okay.
The sometimes lose $1,000.
I would get. Are you married?
No, I got nothing. I just got me, my wrestling, and
And
my
your Toyota.
my protein shakes and my toys.
My
That's
wife.
worst comes to worst. My my toy collection's probably at least $25,000, so I could just probably sell that.
Should talk to Cardona.
Well, I wish I had his toy collection. Let's just say that.
Right.
No one has it.
When did you feel you made it? When did you feel like you knew, man, this is gonna work? I would be able to quit everything. When did you feel like you knew the big break was coming and you would be able to get out of doing the side jobs and focus on your passion and your love?
I think the first spring break show was the first time afterwards. Like, wow, we did something. I, made it this far. I went from some Jersey, Pennsylvania, like hardcore, diehard, like niche underground legend to my name getting out there more and more, to get to a point where I can do a show WrestleMania weekend and basically sell it out. That was at a point, and then after that, it was going to doing the PWGs and the UK tours and Progress, and eventually I basically done every indie promotion you could possibly do in that time frame when indie wrestling was about to pick back up. So that was at the point where I was traveling 3-4 days a week, and just, my t-shirts were selling out in every city. So it's like, all right, now you can make money. So it's just, I had a drawer full of crumpled up 20s and didn't have a bank account, and that's how I lived.
I would love not to have a bank account and just like put all my money in like my drawer.
That's what I used to do. I have to have a bank account now, but
seriously,
the top drawer at my mom's house in my bedroom was just filled to the brim with, because I'm not a neat person. I don't fold up the money. It was just a balls of 20s.
That's wonderful.
And then I would do a wash, go in my jeans, and there'd be a crumple up 50. That's how I live. Sometimes I do. That's how I live. Look, there's still crumpled up money all over the place.
Just don't leave it in your car. But don't leave it in the car. You don't want no one taking the car. Toyotas are very popular these days.
Look. We got a little. See, I just go like this. $20 bill just sitting there. You never know when you need it.
Don't leave money in the car. My wife tells me that all the time. Don't leave
my
money.
car looks so bad from the outside. There's like gym bags in here and stuff. They would never think that anything was in here. They would think a homeless person would live in here. So,
but you own a Toyota. Toyotas are popular to take.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to test it out one day. If it gets stolen, it's a good story for Twitter. So I'd live for that stuff. I'd like to go and say, damn, my car got stolen today.
A couple more questions, Joey, and thank you so much for the time today. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, no
and who is Joey Janela on January the 18th, 2022?
Someone that is only 32 years old, but has been in the business for 17 years and has not only created a path for himself, an opportunity for himself, but a lot of younger wrestlers to help change the business. And I'm very humble that I've given the opportunity and helped a lot of younger guys get to where they're at, and helped a lot of older guys come back into the spotlight. And that's it. I don't want to be, if I never become a world champion on television, I have to realize that I really have done it all already. I've main evented on television, main evented on pay-per-views, and I did it all on my own accord. Basically got it untrained, eventually got training and now I'm here. And I think all roads kind of led to this pay-per-view on Sunday. And that's just who I am. I'm just someone that loves the business and someone that, a lot of guys in AEW, they have the opportunity to do independence and they don't. They're wrestling 1-2 times a month. I love this. And if I had a chance to wrestle 6 times a week, I would. Just someone who loves the business, and I think that's who I am.
Do you tell talent, like the younger talent? Because I agree with you. It's one of the things I don't get is why. Because I know Tony does allow you guys to do that, and why do you think more, especially the young guys like the Dantes and the Casters and the guys of that nature? Why do you think they're not getting out there?
Those guys do indie booking, so
I don't see that.
I wrestled Dante. Dante and Mass Caster does a lot of bookings on the Northeast, and okay. Dante, I've seen him pick up a lot of bookings. I wrestled him actually in Chicago at a show a few weeks ago. But there's a lot of other guys that just, I guess they're like, they want to save their body for TV, but they don't realize that if you're not wrestling as much as you should, your timing will digress in the ring. I learned that myself. When AEW first started, I stopped taking any bookings, and I've rapidly declined in my wrestling ability, which carried over to 2020 in the pandemic and not be able to wrestle that much, wrestling in front of no crowds. I felt like my wrestling ability just completely went off a cliff. And it's not until the last 8 months that I've got back into a great mindset and built myself back up. So a lot of guys are now, they want to get out there. They want to do more indie stuff, make money, make extra money, put it away, take the money from your paycheck, spend that, take the money from your indies, put it in a savings account.
Yeah. Do you tell guys and girls that, or no?
It's really, some guys hit me up and they ask me. It's like, they know I'm doing these shows. They know I'm always out there. So they can approach me. I'm not going to,
I got you.
If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's all about what you want to do. Like, if guys hit me up, they're like, how do I get on these shows? How do I do this? How do I do that? Cesar Bononi.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to wrestle. I want to do independence. So that's it. They threw him into the Lions Den. And now I see him getting more and more dates. Yeah. And that's great. But a lot of younger talent, they're going to be signed up. If you get the opportunity to do indies, do it. I'm not a guy who's going to go train. I never train because that just deteriorates your body as well.
Yeah.
My training is going out in front of a crowd and testing what works and what doesn't. It's just the way I am. That's the way I've always been.
You said something about where you were mentally 8 months ago. Where was your headspace? And I'll even go back to the beginning of last year. Where was your mind mentally in terms of wrestling 12 months ago?
It's hard to say. I thought at the point where I got to wrestle Moxley and pay-per-view and having these matches with Omega and this, I thought I was on the way. I thought I made it at that point. So I started to let my guard up a little bit, started to make bad decisions. But then the pandemic happened, and that was just a nut shot to a lot of people. I say I'm not a crazy athlete like the Kenny Omegas and whatnot. So these guys can go out in front of nobody and wrestle for 45 minutes. Yeah. I need that crowd to feed off of. And I just was lazy. And it's just, I'm not going to say I've said this before, I wasted a year. But I didn't completely waste it. But as soon as the crowd started coming back and things started picking back up, I was like, all right, now it's time to put your foot on the gas. And it's not because I have a 3-year deal with AEW that will be up soon. Who knows what's going to happen with that? It's because I love wrestling and I want to be my best for my opponents, for myself, for the people I work for. That's it.
When you realize it, is it something you realized, or is it something that where you have a conversation with Tony, or is it a combination of both?
Tony has never had a problem with me. He's always put me over to a good degree. Always put me over as a good hand to have around and put in certain spots, and that's a great thing. If the boss says he can put you in any situation and you can make it work, that's what separates guys like me from other guys.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an ego whatsoever. I'll do whatever you tell me to do, and I won't complain about it. I'll do the best of my ability. So it was no conversation. It was a basic conversation with myself. Just I knew that where I was in 2020 wasn't where I was in 2018. But now I'm in the best shape of my career. And I didn't think it was possible. In 2016, 2015, 2016, I was in some pretty good shape. That's when I was still young and had that metabolism. But now I've got myself back in the best shape I could ever be in. So just keep that going and don't get lazy. Don't get, just keep on going. Now I know what it takes to, sometimes you have to sink down a little bit to realize your love for something again,
There's a lot of talk about, you brought up your contract with AEW, and there's been a lot of talk about contracts, with Cody and the Bucks and Jericho and everybody. And you brought up yourself, and you said you signed a 3-year deal, and my math isn't always the greatest, but time is coming. And do you want to stay in AEW? Is that something you want to do, or do you want to spread your wings somewhere else? Where would you prefer if things would align right for you?
There's no point to leave AEW if they don't offer me another contract. There's no point because they do allow indie dates. Why would I leave? And I can do anything I want right now. Why would I go try to get a job with WWE? It doesn't make sense because then I wouldn't be able to do any indies. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm on good terms with them. There's no heat with me in AEW with anybody right now. I've been having great matches for them for the last 6 months, and we'll see what happens. They have a lot of guys signed right now. They only have 3 hours of TV. So no hard feelings, but also in my mind that, it's not the end of me in AEW. Absolutely not. I think I'm on good enough. I have a good enough relationship with them to extend things.
Have they approached you, or have you approached them about what's going on, or no?
No, it's just business. I just go on with my business.
Are you scheduled for tomorrow's show?
No. They don't. If they don't need you, then I just filmed last week in Universal for their tapings.
Yeah.
For Ozark. So that's where they have me right now. I'm killer main event next week with Lee Moriarty on Dark. It was killer match. So that airs next Tuesday. Oh. And my relationship's great with them. So
awesome.
I can't see it going any other way. But who knows? But right now, my feud with Sonny's over, and now they're giving me and my manager Kayla, they're giving us a little bit of a push, giving us longer matches, different opponents. So we'll see what happens.
Because I know you've had to hear everything going on in the last day or so with Cody, and what would you do if you're Cody Rhodes?
Obviously, stay with AW. You have 2 TV shows on the Turner. I couldn't see you doing anything. Yeah, wrestling fans have wild imaginations. If you're on 2 TV shows on the network and you wrestle, you're making great money. You just had a newborn baby. What else would you do?
I had so many people in wrestling ask me that yesterday, and I'm like, and I said the same thing you just said, and I'm like, why? Why would he go there? Go back.
No,
He left for a reason. B, he's got two TV shows that have done very well. He just had a baby. He'd have to be gone a lot more.
Nah, it's just a wild imagination of these wrestling fans.
So we will
like
not.
Especially they do that. They write their lists on Twitter saying who they think will be not renewed for a contract, and it's just like these guys have wild imaginations. They want to basically fantasy book their. That's always how it's been. That's how I was when I was a teenager. So I can't blame them, but they're just some wild imaginations. And when business picks up, wrestling picks up. Yeah. The theories just get crazier.
So we should take you out of the consideration. You're not going to break through that forbidden door and appear in St. Louis at the Royal Rumble on January.
Nah, who knows? Who knows?
Don't do that to me. I'm going to be there covering the show. Don't be there. Don't do that to me.
Nah, no, I won't. I don't think I'll be there, but I would imagine if I came out in a Royal Rumble, I imagine that pop would be the biggest pop in the history of the business, but it's not happening this year. But I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I see this stuff on Twitter, and I don't hear it from anyone. I just see it on Twitter. People talking about it. And I don't know what's true and what's not, what's coming from an actual Fightful or Dave Meltzer, or what's coming from a Ringside News fake dirt sheet. I don't know which is which. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. But
guys that listen to are Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful and Dave Meltzer.
Of course.
Ringside News, Ringside News. I don't like knocking other people. I see enough wrestlers knock Ringside News to where they're worth about the generic
block on everything.
You block everything?
I block them on everything.
Oh, good man. That's a smart move. And
we'll
end with this because this is a big show. Let's focus back on Sunday. We'll end with this. The hard sell, Joey. Why should fans watch The Wrld on GCW coming up on Sunday, January the 23rd from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, live streaming on Fight TV and traditional pay-per-view via cable or satellite provider?
Because it's going to be the greatest independent wrestling spectacle of all time. And it's going to have all the flavors of ice cream. I know Brett told you that. It's going to have everything you've ever wanted from a wrestling show. There's going to be shit on there that you hate, but there's also going to be stuff on there that you love. Some people will love it all. I hope you love it all. I love it all. But I think it's going to be awesome. And just the crowds at GCW, the rabidness of them lately. I'm just imagining that, but times 3. In the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. It's probably one of the hottest crowds of all time, in my opinion. So take my word for it. It's going to be the hottest wrestling, one of the top 5 hottest wrestling shows of all time. And I don't think they're going to be sleeping at all on their hands anytime during that show.
Wait, wrestling fans do that? No.
On their cell phones. They still do. They can do that.
What kind of ice? You talk about ice cream. Now you got me hungry. What kind of ice cream?
I'm drinking a smoothie right now. This is extra big. It's like the size of my head. This is a medium. This is a medium. I don't know what a large looks like.
What's in that, by the way?
I think it's just like bananas and berries and peanut butter and protein and that's it.
So you're not an ice cream guy.
Sometimes. I'm not really a sugar guy.
Okay.
I eat candy, ice cream, maybe once a week, if that. I was more when I wasn't so conscious about the way I looked. I was more of a why waste your calories on ice cream when you can eat 18 McDonald's double cheeseburgers, which I still do.
Wow.
I don't eat 18, but I'm over exaggerating.
How many can you eat in one sitting? What is the most you ever had? I've done 3. And 3, that was like in my prime 15 years ago.
I've probably done 3 or 4.
Good man. Good man.
Probably done 3 or 4.
Now
I love fast food. That's my favorite. Fast food is amazing.
Now I want McDonald's for dinner.
Get McDonald's. Get a double quarter pounder. That's my deal right there.
See, I got a wife who is a nurse, and she like lays the smack down me every time I want to eat crap. Now I feel in the mood for eating a double cheeseburger meal and with
go eat that. Go eat that. Of course.
I'm gonna tell her the bad boy told me to do that. I'm gonna be a bad boy tonight, Joey Janela. But
I heard Burger King has got a new like Whopper melt or something. I might have to check that out later this week after the pay-per-view.
That should be the cheat meal for you on Sunday evening.
I don't know. I think we're gonna be living a little bit bigger than a Whopper Sunday. Oh, wait, Sunday. Oh yeah, Sunday's the pay-per-view. So cheat meal is Monday.
Steak? A nice good steak?
Steak. There's a steak. Definitely a steak at the after party after, waiting with my name on it. So
a steak. I'm a filet mignon type of guy.
That's it. I'll have a filet mignon and a lobster tail waiting for me. So
what about baked potato? You gotta have a baked potato with it.
No, I'm not really the baked potato guy. Maybe a wedge salad.
Ooh. Ranch dressing?
A little bit. Little dab.
You are speaking my language, Joey Janela. We've never chatted, and this has been great. Thank you, Joey, so much for that time. It means a lot. It's greatly appreciated. I'm looking forward to next Tuesday with Lee Moriarty, but more importantly, I am looking forward to Sunday because that's going to be one hell of a show. I can't wait to watch. Thank you for the time. Kick the shit out of Matt Cardona, please.
Oh, of course.
Matt's getting a little too high for his britches, so you got to knock him down.
Can you see it any other way? Come on, man.
No, sir. Joey, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck on Sunday, and talk soon.
Thanks, pal.